Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Artis and today I will talk about the integration of ICT in the schools of Suriname. The first thing we will talk about is what is ICT. And ICT stands for Information Communication Technology. And that means the efficient management of hardware and software. What is hardware? Hardware are the devices that we use, such as our laptop or smartphone or tablet, that are the hardware. And the software, that are the programs that are in these devices. And ICT highlights the use of devices and media to achieve optimum and efficient communication of information. Why do we need ICTs? Why ICTs? First, ICT is a 21st century skill. We live in the 21st century and everything is about ICT, is going about ICT. ICT enhance the traditional education. We as teachers, without ICT, you can do almost nothing. We need ICT because um, ICT helps us to be better and to give the information better and quicker. ICTs provides interactive learning experiences. When I think about interactive learning, then I think about a game you can create a Kahoot where you as a teacher can give the questions and the students will answer the questions by multiple choice. ICT motivates students to learn. Uh, Students, when they have to learn out of books, then sometimes they find it boring. But with ICTs, with videos, with audio, then we motivate our students to learn. ICT promotes creativity. I talked about the game you can create, Kahoot. You have to be creative. You have to have a creative skill to create that, to think creative. ICT is also a way of communication. What I'm doing now is a way of communication. I'm giving you information through ICT. I using my laptop and I'm taking a video where you can get a lot of information. ICT is also a way to store and manage information. When I have something, I have to do something, then I can do it on my laptop. And then I can save it on my laptop just to store information. And when I need it, then I have to take my laptop or my smartphone, then I get the information back. How to integrate ICTs? How to integrate ICT? Then the first thing that we need is it has to start at Minose. Minose, that is the Education Ministry of Suriname. They have to take the first step to integrate ICTs in the schools. The second is they have to have a curriculum based on ICT. We have to have ICT classrooms. The most of the schools in Suriname don't have ICT classrooms, and if we want to integrate ICT, then we need that. We have to have ICT infrastructure because without infrastructure, you can't integrate ICT. And teachers with knowledge about ICT, a lot of teachers don't use ICTs, don't know how to um, work with ICT, work with a laptop. And thus we need teachers that have knowledge about ICT. Also, what are the steps to integrate ICTs in the schools of Suriname? Then this part I divided in two. You have activities of the head teacher. That person has to have computer facilities. That means the computer rooms. The person has to have a policy on ICT. Yes, one, if you want to integrate ICTs in the schools, then you have to have a policy at school. The person also have to have knowledge about ICT because it begins on top. The head teacher, if he or she knows about ICT, wants to integrate the ICT, then the teachers can take that over. Involving parents and community. When we want to integrate something, the we can do it alone. We have to include others. And if we talk about the schools, then you have to have the parents on your side and also the community. And what are the activities of the teacher? Because the teacher is the one who has to give the ICT lessons. The teacher has to have knowledge about ICT, competence in ICT, skilled in ICT, and also eager to learn because I learned that ICT is something that every day is changing. And so the person that wants to give ICTs of has to be eager to learn and innovate and creative. You have to be creative as an ICT teacher. As a teacher, you have to be creative and innovative. What are the schools? Which organizations helps with ICT in Suriname? The first is EEA Day of IIE Day. That is the school where now I'm studying and I'm studying ICT in education, and that is one of the organization that helps with ICT, the integration of ICT, because they teach us how to work with ICT, work with programs that we can use in schools and other places. EOL, that is also a school where they have a section that gives ICT, it's teaching ICT, and the organization ACOES, ECOIS, that is an organization that does that does they do subject matter research, that is ACOIS. And these are three of the organization. There are more organizations, but these are three of the organizations that I mentioned that helps with the integration of ICTs in Suriname. When we want to do something, um, there are always limitations, And the limitations of ICT integration at the schools are no ICT classrooms. The most of the schools don't have ICT classrooms, and if you don't have an ICT classroom, how can you integrate ICT? Expertise of the teacher. I already said that you have a lot of teachers that don't use ICTs, that don't use the devices that yeah, that don't use ICT devices, so they don't have an expertise in ICT. Most of the schools also don't have infrastructure, and we have to have all these things when we want to integrate ICTs in our schools. And so you have places in Suriname, the inland, where there is no electricity. And yes, if you don't have electricity, how can you integrate ICT? Because where are you going to charge the PCs, the laptops, the internet boxes, etc.? This, if you don't have electricity, you can't integrate ICT. Dus they have to work on that to have electricity at the places, and when they have electricity, then they can integrate ICT. So no electricity is also a limitation. And no internet, because not everywhere of Suriname we have internet. So if you don't have internet, then you can't integrate ICT. That was a short presentation of ICT in the integration of ICTs in the schools of Suriname. I hope you have um, you learned something, and I want to thank you and say goodbye till next time. Thank you. Bye bye.